So today, June 21st, we're doing Clearing the Clairs. This is really fun. Love this stuff. Hi, JB. That's a beautiful, is that a harpsichord? That's gorgeous. I like that screenshot. Hello, Linda. Hello, Matika.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, JB. Good morning, Priyanka. JB,
Hey.
what city are you in? You're muted, my love. You can unmute. Unmuting is not always easy, I've found.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. I'm in Ohio, Belleville, Ohio.
Aw, hello from Ohio. Good afternoon. So this is one of my favorite exercises to do with. By the way, I got my hair cut yesterday, but I'm not happy. I said to him, I want to get rid of the things on the side that make me look like Farrah Fawcett. And he goes, oh, you got a lot of I said, you have a lot of dead ends. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't cut my hair since October. So he cut it, and I think he did the opposite. Because I feel like I literally have wings on my head. I don't know. I have to
You're
keep playing.
fine.
Or else it's just time to shave it all off again. We'll see.
It looks good.
Well, thank you very much. I've been making peace with my body, shall we say. One of my mentors is Archangel Metatron, and he says, when you are not at peace with anything that you have willed into creation, which is including physically, spiritually, mentally, or emotionally, he said you have blocked your soul's process of transformation because you've willed something into creation.
Power
And
on.
you say, I don't like this thing. I don't want this thing. This isn't what I like. You're just in denial of your own process of manifestation because you willed it into existence. God gave us all what? Free will. So we've willed this thing into existence. Then we go, I don't like the way that my arms are, my hair is, my feet are, my belly is, my butt is, my boobs, like whatever your thing is. My children are, my spouse is, my family is, my home is, my job is. And we've willed it all into creation. We are all gods manifesting everything in our existence. So he said, you have to go in and you have to start to make peace with every single aspect of your life. And you have to say, I love this thing. I willed this thing to be, because that's what we did. We willed everything. So there's a beautiful prayer at the end of lesson 5, inside, not the lesson 5, but at the end of chapter 5, inside of the text of A Course in Miracles. And it says, I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. Here, I gotta find it. And it's different, it's different in the blue version than it is, in the purple version. Because in the purple version, they went back down and wrote all the stuff down that Jesus actually said. So here it is. So when you go to the end of chapter 5, it says, I call it the prayer of peace. Keep a little bookmark. I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. So if there's something in your life you're not at peace, does anyone have an issue with any part of their body? Raise your hand. Okay, all women are raising their hands. Does anyone have an issue about their financial situation? Raise your hand. Does anyone have an issue about their spouse situation? Raise their hand. Thank you. Liar. Does anyone have an issue about their child situation? Raise their hand. Does anyone have a situation that they don't want to acknowledge? Raise their hand. Thank you. Okay. So we have manifested all this. It has come from inside of us, and it's not conscious, it's unconscious, subconscious. It operates in the background. So this journey is about making peace with our souls. It's about ego mastery, and it's about a place where we say, yeah, I created that, and we have not wanted to own that. So here's the prayer. I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. Look how big this book is. I made the decision myself, and I can also decide otherwise. I will to decide otherwise because I will to be at peace. I do not feel guilty because the Holy Spirit will undo all the consequences of my wrong decisions if I will let him. I will to let him by allowing him to decide for God, for me. Because look, if we're messed up about something, like it's not a place where we can make right decisions. But one thing that we all were given is this wonderful companion known as the Holy Spirit to help us make choices and to help us to choose for God when we have forgotten to do that. How many of you on a regular basis turn to God for assistance? Raise your hand. Right on. How many of us think we can do it on our own? Raise your hand. Both exist. Exactly. So look, God gave us a few tools along the way, and they're called the clairs. They are, oh, your kitty's back. Clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairalliance, clairgusto, clairaudience, clair, there's a whole bunch of them. I focus on 4 of them: clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, and clairsentience. So what they are is they're the ability to hear, to see, to feel, and to know beyond spirit. So it's your ability to just like have a download of information that you're like, I didn't read that in a book. I don't know where that came from, except it came from spirit. Or to hear voices. Anybody hear voices? Like you just know it's no one's in the room, someone's talking to you. Okay. Or you see things. So my psychic abilities opened up when I laid my hands on this grave of this dead guy in Israel back in 2009. And I had this crazy experience where this golden shaft of light comes out of the sky and surrounds me. And this guy in the grave starts talking to me and he goes, "Welcome home, beloved," telepathically. He goes, "Welcome home, beloved. Your father is waiting for you." And I'm thinking, fuck, I haven't taken drugs. This is not an acid flashback. I don't have PTSD. Like, what's going on? Well, my hands are on this grave, my eyes are closed. And a girlfriend of mine had the presence to take a picture of me. I actually have a picture of me. I'll find it in my phone. So I said, "My father," and he says, "Abraham." And I go, "Abraham?" And he said, "You know him as Avram." So since I was young, I've had this being that comes and talks to me, and his name is Avram. So here's the picture of me laying my hands on the gravestone in Israel, July 2007, and I'm in a trance. And I said to her, "Jenna, why did you take that picture?" And she said, "Because you looked beatific." And I'm like, "Beatific?" And she goes, "That's the word that comes to mind." I was in an altered state because this dead guy's talking to me and they're opening up my clairs. And all of a sudden I have this vision and I start crying. My teacher's like, "Why are you crying?" You won't believe me anyway. So a few months later, I go to visit my best friend in San Francisco, and it's late at night. We're hanging out in her room, and all of a sudden this being comes into the room and he starts talking to me. And I'm like, "There's somebody here that wants to talk to you." And he's talking about somebody named Sam. And she's like, "Oh my God, that's my dead boss. How are you able to do this?" And I said, "I guess I can talk to dead people now." I said, "It happened to me when I was in Israel." But it started to open up this gift of clairaudience. So the only person I feel like I can tell is my sister. And I'm like, "But you can't tell mom," because my mother's like this Bible thumping Christian who's going to lose her mind if her daughter's now talking to the dead, right? Forget about when I told her that I talked to Jesus. Not only did I talk to Jesus, but I channeled Jesus. That's been a journey. So my sister tells her best friend, Jill, "Guess what? My sister can now talk to the dead." And she goes, "Well, my dad just died. I'd love to talk to him." So Jill calls out to me and she goes, "Hey, can you please talk to my dad? He died recently." And dad comes through and he says some things. And then he starts showing me in my mind's eye elephants. And I'm like, "Elephants?" I go, "Jill, he's showing me elephants, like all kinds of elephants." And Jill goes, "What are you talking about? There aren't any elephants." I'm like, "All right, well, here's the message he has. Take care of your mom and he loves you, and take care of Mr. Brown, who's Jill's dog." And Jill's like, "Okay, whatever." So Jill goes back to my sister and she goes, listen, your sister's shit. She started telling me about my father and something about elephants. My sister's just like, all right, whatever. Jill goes to her mom and goes, Pam's sister Lynn says she talks to the dad, and I asked her to talk to dad, and then dad started talking to her about elephants. She goes, yeah, because your father and I have an extensive collection of elephants. She's like, what? She goes, yeah, it's in the curio cabinet in the living room. So next time Jill's at the house, she opens this cabinet and there are all these elephants, glass elephants, figurines of elephants, wooden elephants, elephants. Because what they do is they try to give you proof that it's really them. Stuff that's so obscure, like not only did Jill not know about the elephants, I certainly didn't know about the elephants, but it's the way that they give you proof. Does that make sense? So they start to communicate to us with images through clairvoyance, through messages, through clairaudience. Clairsentience is when you can feel them, like the goosebumps on the body or the hair starts to stand on end. You can just start to feel them. And then claircognizance is where the information just comes in. So I go to a seminar with my girlfriend and my business partner at the time. And it's a sacred geometry class. And I'm like, oh my God, I love sacred geometry. This is going to be amazing. And I walk in and I look at the guy, Charlie, who's leading the class. And Charlie looks like he's wearing like this golden Egyptian headdress on his head. And I blink and I'm like, what the? And then it disappears. Like, okay. So he's in the middle of leading the seminar. And he tells the story about how when his best friend's father was going to die, he went to the hospital to kind of do a blessing over him. And he said, may his soul receive the highest elevation possible, given his good works this lifetime. And that prayer went into my heart. And I've said it every time somebody passes ever since. So best friend's father dies. And about 4 months later, the sister goes to a medium. And the medium said, your father's here and wants you to thank your brother for the priest that he brought to his bedside at the hospital. She's like, priest? We're Jewish. So she calls her brother and she goes, what priest did you have at daddy's bedside? And he goes, I don't have a priest. I had Charlie. So he calls Charlie and goes, Charlie, why is my father saying you're a priest? And he said, oh, I'm a priest in the order of Melchizedek. And I almost fell off of my chair because I knew from claircognizance that the order of Melchizedek was the order that Jesus was ordained into. And I knew that I had to get this ordination. So this is one of 32 certificates that I'm very, very proud of. It's the one that I have on my desk closest to me. And it says, I am ordained in the order of Melchizedek. From Father Reverend Dan Chesborough. He's ordained, listen to this, 17,000 priests in over 35 years. And he's ordained about 100 of them here in my sanctuary here in New York. In fact, he's coming in August to do more ordinations. And I've got like 4 dear friends that are coming, friends and students and clients and stuff like that. People come, they stay at my house, we have a party. It's really fun. And Reverend Dan is just larger than life. So I reach out to Charlie and I'm like, oh my God, like I have to get ordained. And he goes, well, there's a guy named Reverend Dan and he comes to Long Island about once a year. So I reach out to Reverend Dan and he said, no, I don't have enough students for a class. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I got 27 students for the first ordination. I'm like, I can get people together. Like, I love to throw parties. It's like a party for me. It's what classes are like for me. They're like parties. So Reverend Dan comes and all these people come and get ordained. And it's like a holy experience. It's crazy. But that information that came in, that was just claircognizance. I don't know how I knew that. I don't know why I knew that. But what Reverend Dan said is that every priest in the Christian religions are ordained into the order of Melchizedek, and they don't even realize why. So I asked our priest at our local church, and he said, yeah, they were all ordained into the order of Melchizedek. They didn't know why. I know why, but I'm not telling. Just kidding. Anyway, so clairsentience, you feel them. Like when my stepfather shows up and I can just feel him and I start talking to him. And, these clairs are God-given. God's like, I'm going to give you this little bag of tools to come with to earth because you're spiritual beings having a physical experience. How many of you know that you're a spiritual being having a physical experience? Raise your hand. How many of you forget and think that you're a body? Raise your hand. Exactly. So our journey is to remember. So I have this very, very simple technique. I'm going to do it with all of you right now. Okay. So everybody take out a pen and paper. And I want you to write down CA, which stands for clairaudience. And that is your ability to receive messages that you hear from spirit. Okay. CA. Then I want you to write down CV, And CV stands for clairvoyance, and that is your ability to receive visual images from spirit beyond your physical eyes. Then I want you to write down CS, and that stands for clairsentience. So CA, CV, CS, clairsentience is where you're able to feel spirit. Temperature changes, you get the goosebumps. They they brush you. That's freaky. That's freaky as shit when they brush you, right? Are we live streaming? We are live streaming, yes. Okay, cool. Hello to everybody on Facebook who is logging in from other regions and other parts of the world. And then the final one is CC, claircognizance, and that's where you just get the downloads from spirit, like the information just comes in. That's also rather freaky. You just know information, you don't know why. Okay, so everybody close your eyes. We're gonna do a little breathing to get you guys out of beta, move you into alpha, maybe even into theta. Let your mind start to relax, and then we're gonna start measuring. So take a beautiful inhale in, and a relaxing exhale through the mouth, and just notice where you are in time and space. Notice the temperature of the room. Notice where your body is touching a surface and where it's not. Notice the sounds. Notice the sound of your breath as it comes into the body. Feel as it exhales through the mouth. Just start to let your consciousness drift down towards the heart. Take another full, beautiful inhale in through the nose. Let it circulate through the body. And then go ahead and exhale, release through the mouth, and continue to drop your consciousness down towards the heart. For any of you who have done the Silva Mind training, you can use 333, 222, and 111 to just let yourself drift in. For the rest of you, I'm just going to count from 10 down to 0. And with each descending number, you're just going to let yourself drift down further and further towards the heart. So we start with 10. Take an inhale in, then drift down to 9, sinking further into the heart. Come to 8, 7. Take another inhale in. Your exhale, drift down to 6, 5, sinking further. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. Just be completely settled in your heart. Take another inhale in. On your exhale, go ahead and open your eyes. And the question is, on a scale of 1 to 1,000, at what level is your clairaudience? Your ability to hear from spirit. Just take the first number that comes to you and write it down. On a scale of 0 to 1,000, at what level is your clairaudience? Just write it down. Open your eyes and write it down. Don't fight with it. Don't argue with it. Just write it down. Okay, good. Take another inhale in. Exhale out. On a scale of 0 to 1,000, at what level is your clairvoyance? Your ability to receive visual messages from spirit. Don't overthink it. Just write it down. Don't fight with it. Just write it down. Doesn't matter what the number is. Doesn't matter if it's higher. Doesn't matter if it's lower. Just write it down. Take another inhale in. Relaxing exhale, coming into the heart. On a scale of 0 to 1,000, at what level is your clairsentience? Your ability to feel spirit, feel the presence of spirit. Again, just the first number that comes to you. Just write it down. Beautiful. Take another inhale in. Nice relaxing exhale, settling into your heart. On a scale of 0 to 1,000, at what level is your claircognizance? Your ability to just receive information from spirit just comes like a psychic download. Boom. All of a sudden you know. Okay. Now, this is really fun. Priyanka, my lovely assistant, my lovely psychic assistant, yes, there I said it, my lovely psychic assistant is going to choose one of you, and I'm going to take you through the process of clearing one of your clairs. Bianca, beloved, who is up today?
Claire, I don't know if Claire wants to be on camera or is willing
Hi,
to
Claire.
come join.
Hey, Claire, you want to play with us today?
Yeah,
Okay. Beautiful. So
amazing.
tell me what your lowest score was.
I didn't get, sentience.
Okay.
That's 76.
Okay. And tell me what the other scores were.
Well, I got 400 for clairaudience,
Okay.
600 for clairvoyance,
Okay.
76 for clairsentience, and 300 for claircognizance. But I don't know how reliable those are.
They're completely reliable
Good.
because when I take you through the meditation, I take you out of that little ego mind that goes, this can't be right. I don't trust this.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. That's the part of us that fucks with us really hard. That's not what
Yeah.
this is. This is about going into the part of you that you can literally trust yourself. And I trust you. I'm sure that what you wrote down was fine. This is why I say, literally, I'll do this with people. I have a session with a client and I'll say on a scale of, 1 to whatever, what number is clairvoyance? And they pause for a moment and they're about to tell me, and I go, no, give me the first number. And they're like, how did you know? And I'm like, because I know people. Like, come on, knock it off. What was your first number? And they go, 743. And I said, what were you going to tell me? And they were like, I was going to tell you 40. That was like, just let it be what it is. It's okay. Like the truth is going to come out. The truth is that our numbers are like in the millions, but we have shrunk ourselves down to pretend that we're these scrawny, puny little humans. Who was it? There was some creature who used to call us puny little humans. I don't know whether it was from like the Flintstones or something like that. You puny little humans. Anyway, we're far from puny. We are godlike creatures. We are God. That's another class. Okay. So you said the lowest score was what?
76 clairsentience.
Clairsentience. Okay, good. So if there are low scores for clairvoyance or clairaudience, we're dealing with the pituitary and the pineal. So we go in here to deal with those. If we have a low score for claircognizance, we go in through the crown chakra. But if we have a low score for clairsentience, we're going to go into the heart. Okay. Because it just means that somewhere, because here's what happens. So I have a dear girlfriend. She's a phenomenal shaman, but she couldn't see psychically for shit. Okay. So we go into her Akashic records, which is one of the things I do. I go into the records. I teach people how to go into the records. We do healing in the records. And she has a memory of being the medicine woman for an Indian tribe. But what's happened is she's outlived like 2 generations. So it's the 3rd generation. And these are like young kids. And they're like, oh, old woman, you don't know anything. Like the respect wasn't passed down. And she keeps saying, look, on this day at this time, the marauders are going to come and they're going to attack us. And they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're making that all up. It's a bunch of malarkey. And of course, the day of the attack, she goes into a cave. She protects herself. She comes back and the tribe has been devastated and killed. And there's like smoke and fire and dead bodies everywhere. And a few of the people that remained come out and they say, you did this. This is your fault. You saw this. You brought this. You created this. And they took 2 burning hot pieces of wood, put them on her eyes like burning coals, and burnt out her eyeballs. And then they left her for dead. So she wills herself to die, but in the process, she makes the decision, I will never allow myself to say what it is that I see again. So she closed down her clairvoyance. Do you get how that works?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not Steven Spielberg. You can't make this shit up. Like this is real. These are real. I call it, I need to start another podcast called You Can't Make This Shit Up. Or maybe that's the tagline. I don't know. Anyway, but honestly, like we cleared all of that and suddenly she's like, oh my God, I can see. And I just did this with a friend of mine. We opened up, we cleared all of his stuff in his 3rd eye. And he's like, Lynn, you cannot believe the stuff that I'm seeing. He's extraordinary. Anyway, so all this is possible inside of the Akashic Records and the healing, and I teach all this in a class. And in fact, Atiku and Linda are in that class. And we just started on Tuesday, and it's so much fun. And Priyanka did it a couple of years ago. But again, Priyanka's not psychic. She just plays a psychic on TV. That's all. Just pretend. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell me. It's our best kept secret. Okay. So, Claire, here's what we're gonna do. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a beautiful inhale into your heart. And I want you to exhale and release through the back of your heart. There is an energy that is blocking your heart. I want you to take another inhale in, and I want you to tell me, what color is that energy?
A sort of greeny yellow.
Thank you. Okay, beautiful. My love, if you could give a shape to it, what shape is that greeny yellow color? First thing that comes to you.
Okay, it's sort of circular.
Okay. Is it circular flat like a record, or is it circular like a sphere, like a ball?
Like a ball more.
Okay, thank you. If you could say how big the ball is, how big would you say it is?
No idea.
Okay.
Let's go.
Would you say it's like the size of a golf ball, or is it a basketball, or is it a...
Okay, I'll go with a golf ball.
Beautiful. And how much does it weigh?
Oh, it's really heavy. And it's got black in it. It's
Okay.
gone black.
Okay. Perfect. 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 And could you give a temperature to it?
I think it's cold.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Can you tell what material it's made of?
What material? It's metallic, I think.
Thank you. What is the purpose of this ball? What purpose does it serve in your heart?
I think it thinks it's protecting me.
Yeah. And that's usually what these things do. We've called it in, we've willed it into existence. Okay, beautiful. My love, I want you to take beautiful inhale in, and Claire, I want you to dive into it. And I want you to tell me, what are the feelings and emotions that are trapped inside of it?
There's a heck of a lot of tears.
Yeah. Just let yourself feel the sadness, protecting you from being overwhelmed by the feelings that are inside of it. So just allow yourself to take a breath and just let yourself feel it. Feel the tears. The beautiful thing about breath is the carrier for life force. It's called prana, it's called chi, it's called ki, it's called mana, it's called pneuma. And when you breathe, and you breathe that energy into these areas that are stuck and that are blocked, they start to dissolve and disintegrate. It's an extraordinary experience. So take your breath and let yourself breathe into the tears and breathe into the feelings that are trapped inside of it. Or just take another breath in, exhale into it. What other feelings and emotions are trapped inside of it?
There's real anger and frustration as well.
Beautiful. So I want you to isolate them. I want you to feel into the anger and just allow yourself to feel all of that. It's okay. Literally, we volunteered and God said, who wants to go down to earth? Who wants to take on the cloak of being human? We didn't read the fine print. We raised our hands. We said, pick me. And what we were meant to do was to come down and to feel all of this. And sometimes it comes too quickly, or sometimes it feels too big. And we say, no, no, I must not. And we stave it off and we stop it and we staunch it. We say, I cannot, I will not, I shall not experience that. And then it gets trapped inside of us. And then we put this protective candy coating around it. And it's this little ball, little golf ball inside of our heart. I say protective candy coating, but I wouldn't lick it. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. I will stay up. Take another inhale into it, my love, and just let yourself feel all of that feeling and emotion. I know, baby, it's a lot. Just let yourself feel it. You're doing so well. I literally can feel it starting to move and disintegrate. Can you guys feel it as she's going through this? It's just gorgeous. Believe it or not, you have a group of friends that have joined you here today, and we all know each other. I do not ever believe anything other than everybody that I meet is somebody that I have known and loved for many, many lifetimes. You don't trip and fall and end up in my presence by accident. It just doesn't happen that way. We've loved each other and killed each other for so many lifetimes. It's all good. You're surrounded by so many friends who love you right now. So continue to just breathe into that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Take another inhale in. Just let yourself feel it. Beautiful. Take another inhale in. What other feelings and emotions are inside of it?
There's been absolute despair.
Yeah.
And it's very much linked in with what you said. It's like no one around me has a clue who I am and who they are. And
yes. And look, I want to tell you, Claire, some of the best friends I've gotten are online and in other countries. I'm traveling to Europe next week to go be with soul family because the people around me are a bunch of fucking assholes. They don't get it. They have no idea. No idea who I am.
very
Swear to
much
God.
so.
Right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, one of my best friends lives in Amsterdam and the other one lives in Canada. And I got, like,
This is
sorry.
that is my future. That's from now on.
Well, I'm definitely going to England next year, so we'll have to connect. Are you in England?
Yeah, I am. The timing of this is amazing. Ugh.
Listen, spirit orchestrates everything. I'd like to say that it's me, and I'm so charming that you want to come and hang out with me. But the truth is, I have nothing to do with it. It's people like Hathor or Jesus. They're like, Jesus sent me, Mary Magdalene sent me, Mother Mary sent me, Archangel Michael sent me, Hathor sent me, Buddha sent me, and I'm like,
it's like all of a sudden there's some fun. There's some life, there's some fun just hearing you and what you say. And
yeah. Yeah. I speak the truth. And sometimes it's not always pretty. This is my quote. I love Jesus and I cuss a little.
that's just
Right.
like me.
How God made
Exactly.
Good. So we'll be best friends. So, my love, take another inhale in. What other feelings and emotions are in there? I know it's so frustrating because we're like undercover. We're like wearing these cloaks. We're angels. We're literally angels. And we've like our wings in. It's like when a man cross dresses and he tucks himself, like we've tucked our wings in and we're pretending that we're not angelic beings. Like we like to pretend that we're jerks and idiots and fools, and we're gods. We're gods in disguise is what we are. I'm telling you, we're gods in disguise. What other feelings and emotions are trapped inside of it? Just dig in there. What else is in that tiny little golf ball? It's amazing how much fits in there, right? What other feelings and emotions are trapped in there?
I don't know. Hate is probably trapped there. Real hate.
Beautiful. 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 Let yourself feel it.
Yeah.
All we're meant to do is be channels for the energy. And sometimes it's joy, and sometimes it's hate, and sometimes it's rage, and sometimes it's happiness. It's
Yeah.
all of it. And we are meant to literally, it's equals MC squared. Energy, emotion, energy, and motion. It's just meant to move through it. But it comes so quickly, we go, oh, I've been told I'm not allowed to feel hate. And then it backs up and it creates this mass. It closes down our heart. And sometimes we hate, and it's okay. It's okay. Okay. For God's sake, it's okay.
Mm.
Jesus was the one who named my podcast, which is called Not Another Fucking Podcast. And people were like, don't you think it's sacrilegious to use Jesus Christ and fucking in the same sentence? And I'm like, obviously not. He told me to call it that. Come on, guys. I'm not that creative. I'm not George Lucas. I'm not, just this fat white girl from Long Island. It's who I am. It's okay. It's all okay. 62, about to be 63. I couldn't love myself more. And what I've allowed myself to do is to feel. So let yourself feel it. Oh, it's so refreshing. So refreshing.
There's real laughter bubbling up. Just
Oh,
it's like
okay.
fun and just
Yes.
real effervescence is there. Just suppressed and suppressed.
Exactly. We are eternal beings. God made us in our image. What does that mean? It means we're little goblins. It means we're angelic creatures. Look, I have an angel cast in plastic. He's like, let me out. This is how we are. We're like angels cast in plastic, right? These little plastic figurines. We're like, let me out. Let me out. This is us. This is it. Beautiful. Oh, your heart is so much bigger. Yes. What other feelings and emotions are trapped inside of it? You have like a tiger in you that's just dying to get out. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a real strength. That's right. And I was taught to be really mild and put up with anything and never be angry. And
Knock it
they were
off,
all
Claire.
grounded.
Knock it
Yeah.
off. I need you. We need you. The universe needs you. We need your strength. We need your ferocity. We need your intelligence. We need your humor. For God's sake, I promise.
Part of me has always been there. Yes, that's why I'm laughing so much.
I know. Like, no. She's like sitting around with her arms crossed, tapping her foot, going, is it time yet? Can I come out yet? Like, my wings are like, they want to come out.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, good. What other feelings and emotions are trapped inside of this? That little ball. What else we got?
Well, I'm feeling more just this peace and love.
Listen, after you've said all the good things and all the bad things, all there's left to say is I love you. And you're going to say it to yourself like, okay. So I want you to take an inhale in, and I just want you to surround that little golf ball with a field of love. Just completely embrace it, like put golden light around it. So it literally looks like, what's the thing from Harry Potter, the thing that flies? The little, the
Yeah.
that they chase after?
Whatever it is.
Linda knows. What's it called?
Quid, no. Oh, I don't know.
It's Quidditch, but what's the little
Snitch.
snitch? Thank you.
Snitch.
Okay. Surround your little golf ball with gold so that it looks like a snitch. I love that. Thank you, Linda. I knew one of you was genius enough to remember that. At 63, I can remember every word to every song from the 70s, but if you ask me what I walked from the bedroom to the bathroom to get, can't remember shit. My father goes, doctor told me I have CRS, and I go, oh my God, Dad, what's that? And he goes, can't remember shit. These are my parents. Thank you very much.
So freeing for me. Everyone frowns on me very occasionally using fuck and whatever. They frown on it, and they don't talk to me, and I'm
By now
put
they're
in
used.
In Coventry, we say in England. They don't
No,
talk.
No,
I'm
no,
thinking, for heaven's sake, loosen up. It's better out than in.
exactly. Well, if you're going to be my friend, we're king and queen of the scatological club. Scatological, by the way, is language that refers to bodily functions. Shit, piss,
Great.
cock, ass, things like that. You're welcome. Did you know you were coming to get an education today? No. Okay. Take
This little
another
golf
inhale
ball.
in.
Yeah.
Take another inhale in. On your exhale, you're going to take that little golden golf ball and you're going to just glide it out of you, in front of you, till it goes out about 3 feet. It's just going to glide right out of your body. Goes from 3 feet in front of you. Okay, beautiful. Went all the way out.
I want to give a big whack with a golf stick.
No, 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 no,
You can't
no,
do
no.
that.
This is the most
I'm
beautiful.
following you.
No,
Yeah.
no. Watch what happens. Take another inhale in and then
Okay.
turn it white. In turning it white, you're doing a process of duplication. Duplication causes erasure. And literally the energy all goes right back to source. It just goes right back up to God. And Linda and Matiku, this is a process that you're going to learn in class in 2 weeks. Next week, we do clean slate on a person, on a place, and on a thing. And then the week after that, you're going to learn how to do this one. This is such a powerful technique. And what happens is, now here's the best part. So, oh my God, you're going to love this part, Claire. So you invite a fairy to lend you their fairy wand. And you're going to tap your chest and all the fairy dust goes into your heart. And it fills in that space where that little golf ball with all that energy was, all that dark energy. It literally goes in there because the universe abhors a vacuum, right? All this is based on the law of physics, by the way. All of it. So you tap your heart. When you're done, you give the fairy wand back to the fairy. The fairy says, thank you very much. We say, thank you very much. And you're free. Now, I want you to breathe into your heart. And I want you to just notice how much freer your heart feels. Oh, it's just lighter.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
It is.
All right. Here's the really juicy part. You ready? I want you to get your pen and paper again. We're going to go back through the numbers. Watch what happens. This is insane. Okay. On a scale of 0 to 10,000, at what level is your clairaudience? And just write down the first number that comes. Don't question it. Don't second guess it. Just write it down. Okay. On a scale of 0 to 10,000, at what level is your clairvoyance? And again, just write it down. First number that comes to you. Okay. On a scale of 0 to 10,000, at what level is your clairsentience? Just write it down. May freak you out, doesn't matter, just write it down. On a scale of 0 to 10,000, at what level is your claircognizance? Okay. Did any of the numbers change?
Yeah. Got extra noughts
not-
on everything, but I suppose you expanded it, so that's allowed. But it went from 400 to 8,000 for clairaudience.
Right, because you opened your heart. And
Yeah.
next,
I think I just got more optimistic. Yeah, but whatever.
no, baby,
Clairvoyance, it went
you
from
freed
600
your
to
trapped energy.
yeah, 6,700.
Oh, goosebumps. Okay, and next,
Clairsentience
Clairsentience.
has gone from 76 to 9,700.
You're welcome. And then cognizance.
Cognizance has gone from 300 to 6,700.
That's it.
Well,
Welcome home.
I'll go with that.
No. Do not listen. Don't do
Don't
anything.
judge it.
Revel. Don't mind fuck this. Okay, this is what we call it in New York. We call it mind fucking. Just let yourself revel in the fact that you opened your heart again and you opened your clairs again. Congratulations. That's the power. That's the power. So For those of you in class with me and those of you watching at home, this is available for you. I teach this technique. I do this technique. I've taught this to hundreds and hundreds of people. I've worked with thousands of clients for tens of thousands of minutes and hours. This is what I love to do. You have now just like spread your angel wings, just open your angel wings on the back of you and just let them out. Like we're angels encased in carbonite, like Han Solo in freaking Star Wars, you know? All we're meant to do is to remember who we are. We're in the midst of the great remembering. That's it. That's it. So we have
amazing.
really, I know, like, how good does that feel? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's true. All right. So listen, we have a really special thing. So yesterday was the summer solstice, June 20th, and I did this insane thing. So Priyanka and I work with another lovely woman by the name of Kat. And we were in a staff meeting the other day. Kat's like, what if we did a special for the summer solstice? And I'm like, okay, what if we did half off of everything? Like everything. And she's like, okay. So she puts together this page, this special page. And I know that Linda was very smart. She took advantage of an incredible deal. 5 sessions with Jesus, she gets half off, which was a deal to begin with. Very smart. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to do that work with you. So Priyanka said, what if we offer it for the masterclass? And I'm like, all right. So for 1 hour, we reopened this thing. And Priyanka just dropped the link. So if you want to participate in any way, if you guys want to come be in the class, which started on Tuesday, we could catch you up. But it's a 10-week training program. I take you through 10 extraordinary tools and techniques. Later in the year, I'm going to have a 10-month mastermind, and there's 33 techniques that I'm going to teach in that thing. That thing is going to be extraordinary, but that's another conversation for another day. But if this is anything that you guys, and I know there's those of you who are watching and are going to catch this on Facebook and are going to catch this on YouTube or TikTok or wherever the hell it is that you watch me. I think I have like 20,000 followers. I am an influencer. I humble. I'm not so humble. Okay. I am an influencer, or so I was told. Yeah, I'm not so humble. I'm lying about that. But look, I'm influencing people for good, at least in this lifetime. In other lifetimes, I've been a little naughty, but in this lifetime, I promise to be good. So I'm doing that. So here's the deal. If you want to take advantage of this little special thing that we're doing today, and the page is closed, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to my team. If you can't find me, you're not looking hard enough. I'm everywhere. I literally have people call me on my cell phone and they're like, I saw you on TikTok. And I'm like, what? She ended up coming to Egypt with us on the retreat we did last year. That was crazy. Sometimes you get those spam phone calls and you're like, I'm not answering this call. And Spirit was like, answer the call. And she's like, hi. It's like, hi. Anyway, that was crazy cool. So if you want to take advantage of it, please take a look. There's some juicy stuff in there. And yes, it's one of these crazy, everything's half off. Just because I was in a really good mood. I love summer. I love the summer solstice. So I thank you all for being here. Oh my God, we've almost been here for an hour. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are amazing. I love you. And Claire, that was just gorgeous. Thank you for opening your heart, babe, because that's literally what it took. Bravo. I hope I get to see you again. Linda, Matiku, I will see you guys on Tuesday. JB, it was a delight to meet you. Priyanka, I love you, and I will see you all soon. Shabbat shalom. I go into silence on Friday nights until Saturday. So that's where I'll be talking to God. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.